The only reason a warrior is alive is to fight, and the only reason a warrior fights is to win. Miyamoto Musashi. In many Eastern religions and philosophies, you commonly hear about the way, or the path. These references often talk about a code of conduct or a style of living life in a particular way. The Dokkodo, roughly translated to the way of walking alone, was written in the last days of Miyamoto Musashi's life. Musashi, a samurai who has almost become mythical in stature in the 400 years since his death, was a warrior of unmatched skill, a writer, a Buddhist, and a philosopher. The Dokkodo was written as a list of 21 precepts on how to live, with notes on each lesson. In previous videos, we covered the first 14 of these lessons, and today we will finish the last 7. If you missed either of those videos, we'll have links to both in the description below. Now, on to precept number 15. Have trust in yourself and avoid superstitious beliefs. Musashi, like many Buddhists, believed that everything you need was within yourself. When faced with a difficult opponent, he had to trust in his training, the hours of practice, and his skills. Instead of superstitions, Musashi tried to see the world as it is. To him, a 4-leaf clover is simply a plant, rather than any good luck charm. While you may not need or want to let go of any superstitions that you may carry, most of us could do well with trusting ourselves more. Doubt is an evil feeling that is often based in fear and not reason. Let's say you have a big presentation at work and the night before you find yourself in a cold sweat, fearing that you'll stumble over your words or forget your lines. Force yourself to think of the work that you've put in, the thought and practice that you've done. Think of the past speeches or presentations that went well. Let go of your doubt and trust in your preparation. Number 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. In Musashi's mind, his weapons were tools to be perfected and mastered. In his writings, he talks many times about discarding items, weapons included, when they were no longer of use to him. It has been noted that Musashi was not known to use anything but the sword. He was a master swordsman. There is no mention of him using bows and arrows, throwing stars, pikes, or any of the other common weapons of the time. Bruce Lee echoed this sentiment when he famously said, "Fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." Naval Ravikant, a modern-day entrepreneur and thought leader, talks about finding your unique skill, the thing that you can do better than anyone else, mastering it, and making your money that way. While a jack of all trades is something valued and thought of as a good thing, historically, the people that we consider the greats of their endeavors all had maniacal focus on the one thing rather than being spread thin between items of interest. Number 17. Do not fear death. As a samurai, Miyamoto often searched out duels in order to test his skills with the sword. It has been recorded that he fought 60 duels before the age of 30. The price of losing one of these duels was often death. Many Buddhists, along with the Stoics and several other philosophies, promote that you come to grip and think about your inevitable doom. They agree that by understanding and accepting your morality, you'll come to appreciate and make the most of your life while you have it. Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it." Number 18. Do not seek to possess goods or fiefs in your old age. In the second video in this series, several of Musashi's lessons were aimed at his disdain for owning excessive items, luxuries, or things that had little use. His fulfillment came from his pursuit of the way. In his younger days, this meant fighting and mastering the sword. In his older days, this meant to pass on what he had learned to his students and future generations, not to collect possessions. As we get older, we tend to relax. We stop working towards our goals and are at our purpose. Musashi, probably after thinking about Rule 17, would have viewed this as a waste of whatever time we have left. 19. Respect Buddha and the gods, but ask them for nothing. There is a quote that has been floating around social media for some time. It says, "No one is coming to save you. Be your own hero." I think Musashi would have liked this quote. While Musashi was a Buddhist his entire life, much of his writing stresses self-reliance and self-belief. This is a lesson that especially today many could benefit from hearing. There seems to be an ever-increasing number of people who want a handout, or for someone to save them, to pay their bills while they sit on the couch, or for medicine to extend their lives after they ate poorly, drank, and rarely exercised for years on end. Save yourself. Put your head down, do the work, take responsibility for your life and for your actions. Number 20. You may abandon your body, but you must preserve your honor. Honor is something that goes hand in hand with warrior culture throughout history. And while it's unlikely in modern society that you will have to fight a duel to defend your honor, you should still hold true to the values that you hold dear. You should defend those around you that are weaker than you, and conduct yourself in a way that makes it easy to look at yourself in the mirror. Number 21. Never stray from the way. Musashi's life was dedicated to mastery of the sword and martial arts. He did his best to stay focused even when tempted by luxuries, fame, attachment, and comfort. He was unwavering in his pursuit of goals and focus. That's why we still speak of him today. What is your life's work? What is your mission, your passion, or your calling? And once you found it, what did you do each day to further that work? And what can you do better tomorrow? Musashi believed that happiness, fulfillment, and the path to a life well lived was by following the way. Remember, the only reason a warrior is alive is to fight, and the only reason a warrior fights is to win. Musashi is a fascinating figure that I've truly enjoyed covering in the Dokkodo. When covering figures that lived centuries ago, from ancient Japan to the Stoics, I am always amazed at how much of their teachings and wisdom still apply to us today. Hopefully you too have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to check out our first 2 parts of the series on the 21 precepts to the way of walking alone. In ending, what book, idea, or article would you like to see me cover next? Leave your ideas in the comments down below, and your suggestion might just be our next video. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us reach more people.